Welcome to the Jehovih Chronicles with your host, Cosmon Cal.
That's right. Back like I left something. It's your hostess with the mostest, holding that fire like a roach clip. Cosmon Cal right back up in this thing. Peace. Namaste. Shalom. Ashe. Ni hao. Hola. Chimichukma. Asio. Halito. And all the to all the people out there living life, loving the creator. You dig what I'm talking about? Love, life, balance to y'all. You dig what I'm saying? Without further ado, we just gonna cook for a minute. You dig what I'm talking about? We just gonna cook for a minute. Let my dog Browns, y'all come on in, man. You dig what I'm talking about? Let's go. Yeah. Let's get to cooking. Right back on the old system. Shout out to the creator gang. You dig what I'm talking about? Hold on one second. Shout out to the creator gang and this thing. You dig what I'm saying? Hey, y'all sub, like, share as y'all come in. Make sure y'all wipe y'all feet. You dig what I'm saying? And show some love to the channel. You dig what I'm saying? This your hostess with the mostest, as always, man. Hopefully, my my notifications are getting out there. You dig what I'm talking about with simulcasting on Cosmon Cal TV. You dig what I'm talking about? Y'all sub, like, share over here. Then y'all go to the CGG TV 2. You dig what I'm talking about? CGG TV 2. Y'all sub, like, over there. And then y'all go to Creator Gang Incorporated. Sub, like, share. You dig what I'm talking about? This is Creator Gang, you know, the cloud kicker himself. Cos Bond, you dig what I'm talking about? Found out what my name is in Algonquin. It's called Anakwad Kaiki. Anakwad Kaiki means the cloud kicker. Fire, right? Anakwad Kaiki is the cloud kicker. You dig what I'm talking about? Let's see. Throw some shout outs real quick. You dig what I'm talking about? Your boy Get Back Cooking. You dig what I'm saying? They've been having me on these long ass shifts. You dig what I'm saying? So it's been a little slowed up on the thing, but you know we always come back with some information. You dig what I'm talking about? Hopefully be edifying for the family. You dig what I'm saying? And today, this is your own Cosmic Cal TV. This is Jehovah Chronicles number 212. We just keep on cooking, right? Columbus, Catholics, Conquistadors, Protestants, and the Crusades. And we're going to do a deep dive onto what OAHSPE has to say about each of these topics. There are people who are even denying that, you know, I just find it intriguing. You dig what I'm talking about? Because a person may find out part of the narrative that they were told in their life was may or may not have been true or was not true, false. And you know, from being in a sense turned off in one way, you dig what I'm talking about, when they swing from total belief, right? Man seems to tend to have no middle ground for himself. Because after he learned one thing fake, well, then he looking at everything like it's fake. So he trying to throw everything away. You dig what I'm saying? So we gotta be, you know, conscious and of, you know, not to ever throw the baby out with the bathwater. You dig what I'm saying? Just because one thing it may not be true doesn't mean that another thing isn't. And also, what I've been finding out as I learn more and study more, that narratives are just that. They're stories being told from one person's point of view. But what, you know, giving ourselves the ability to open up our minds and free think, you dig what I'm saying? We no longer pigeonhole. So we don't have to stick to one certain ideology of this. And what I've found is that many times two things are true at the same exact time. Right? So, for instance, how they told us slavery happened in America is false. But that doesn't negate that slavery in America never, or that doesn't make slavery in America that it never happened. How it was told, who it was told about, yes. Was it false? Indeed, right? For the most part. But that doesn't mean some people wasn't, enslaved, indentured. You dig what I'm talking about? You can just, choose to totally, run off the cliff and, act like it didn't happen, but it did happen to some people. Well, why it may not have happened to your people, the truth is that it did happen to some. And see, again, two things can happen at the same time and both be true. You dig what I'm saying? I be having to jump on late nights and, most of the gang be sleep chilling or whatever. You dig what I'm talking about? So I've been, delving with my Aboriginal folks. You dig what I'm saying? And I try not to be, extra. I'm not religious no way, or even act like I'm religious. You dig what I'm saying? So I'll be, kind of chilling over there. You dig what I'm saying? But we get into these conversations and I'm seeing the level of ignorance and willful ignorance and depravity. You dig what I'm saying? That, some of these people on the precipice of, falling into their own personal hells. You dig what I'm saying? So it's understanding that that's a mind state. You making that up for yourself by your actions, man. Anybody who been watching me for about the last month been seeing me just clown. I've been beating people up left and right. And you dig what I'm talking about? I probably need to get away from that because I think what's happening is, on a lot of these places we be debating. You dig what I'm talking about? And when you come up against Cosmine, you better have your stuff together. Because I'm going to do that thing to you. You dig what I'm talking about? I'm going to put every bit of objective science and fact and axiom, figure, mathematics on you and weigh you out. And then, what I've seen is sometimes, and most of the times, I'll be talking over people's head because they haven't even thought about some of the things that we take for granted as faithists. They never even think about these things. So, I've been dealing with a lot of cognitive dissonance and a lot of ego, and even on myself though too. I'm not saying that I'm no better or nothing. You dig what I'm saying? But I'm not to the point to where I'm going to let anybody just punch on me. I'm not going to turn the cheek yet. See, we all in a process. We all got things to give up and get better at. And you dig what I'm talking about? And that's the beauty of understanding the Creator, because you understand that in the so-called failure, there's a lesson. So it's never really a failure. It's just more experience. Well, I wanted to get into what some of OAHSPE had to say about, Columbus, the Catholics, the Conquistadors, and the Crusades. You dig what I'm saying? So we gonna delve off up in that today. We probably gonna get off. Shout out to my bro Mike. You dig what I'm talking about? Over there at Study of OAHSPE. You know what I mean? Y'all go through, get part of the email chain, tap in. You dig what I'm talking about? He got a wealth of knowledge over there. Been doing this for many, many moons. A lot of times, just from us talking, man, crazy part is not only do in many parts we agree on what's being said in the text and what we can see objectively, but the same time he was figuring it out, I was figuring it out. Same time. Because he'll go on to his site, and then when he adding to the page, he'll put the date and stuff up there. You dig what I'm talking about, to let you know when he was Actually thinking about it, and a couple times, you know, he was coming with information. I was coming with information. We was in two different places and didn't even know each other. You dig what I'm saying? Saying the same thing at the same time in two different places. You know what I mean? Who we got up in here? C. La Shilly in the house. Gang, gang. BC up in this thing. K-Go up in this thing. You dig what I'm talking about? Tone the Lonely. What's up, my guy? Look, I got to holler at my dog, Tone, man. He be out there on the road, man. Y'all show some love to y'all faithless brother. You dig what I'm talking about? My sister Shonda up in here. What up, though? Tell my dog Joe I said, what up in here? Yafa, what's going on? Can everybody hear? Can everybody hear? Peace, 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 peace. Tom, peace, peace. Milestone, what's going on? Sunshine, hey sis, how you? I hope y'all don't think y'all are the original people over here too. We are. Yeah, the Great Spirit said it. You got to take that up with him. They copper-colored Negroid over here in America, son. You dig what I'm saying? You dig what I'm saying? Without further ado, let's just get to cooking. Let's share some of this. You dig what I'm saying? Let me see if I can throw some music on in the background. You dig what I'm saying?
Drop it.
Let me see what we got. What we got. What we got. Let me see. Hey, Yogi.
Creator gang gang.
All right. Let me share this screen. Let's get to cooking real quick. Right. Let's make sure everybody can see that. Let's blow this up a little bit. Hold on. Let's see if we can blow this up. Okay, that's good. Let me know if y'all can see that. You dig what I'm talking about? If I can blow it up. If I need to blow it up a little bit, let me know. You dig what I'm talking about? All right, let me make sure I can be heard. Hit me with a 1 in the chat if I can be heard. If the music is at a right level, I'm talking clear. You can see the screen. If everything is good, man, hit me with a vortex. Hit me with some ones in the chat, man. Hit me with some fire emojis. Let's get cooking, man. You dig what I'm talking about? Give me a second. We're going to turn this music up. Make sure everything good. Let me know I can be heard.
Creator gang gang.
Let's go and get it started. Let's go and get it started. Create a gang, baby. Let's go and get it started. Start. Let's go and get it started. Let's go and get it started. Create a gang, baby. Let's go and get it started. Start.
All right. Everything looking good. All right, let's go. This is lesson 212 of the Jehovah Chronicles. Columbus, Catholics, Conquistadors, Protestants, and the Crusades. All right. Now let's see what OAHSPE has to say about these topics, what it has to say about Columbus, what it has to say about Catholics, Conquistadors, Protestants, and the Crusades. Right? OAHSPE, origin, right? Given the origin on the split between Catholic Christians and Protestants. If y'all didn't know that, check that out. You did what I'm talking about with your boy Martin Luther and the Protestant movement. You did what I'm saying going on in Europe in the 1500s. You dig what I'm talking about? And they're split from the Catholic Church. OAHSPE addresses that, right? And gives the background to what's going on, to what we can't see. The things that we can see, that we can look clearly into history and look them up. But there's things, unseen causes behind everything in all nature. And this is what OAHSPE has to say about the split between the Catholic Christians and the Protestants. OAHSPE's Book of S means spirit, right? The daughter of the Creator. Chapter 9, right? In the meantime, Luamong, right? Who is Luamong? Who is this guy? Luamong. Luamong is the man in Revelations 19 and 11, or excuse me, Revelations 19 and 11, that's going to come back on a horse, killing everybody, who we commonly know as Christ, or AKA the God of the Christians. Remember, he has a name written along his head, across his head and his thigh, that no man knows. Well, we exposing it. And his name is Luamong, means the light bearer. Same thing Lucifer means. And once you go to get into OAHSPE, you end up finding out that these are the same character. But check this out. In the meantime, Luamong, or the false god Christ, right? His angels made all haste to have mortal ships and ship masters of their own kind cross the ocean to the countries Colombo had discovered for the Europeans. Take that with a grain of salt. Discover, and also remember, discover means to spy. In the 1500s, it means to spy, right? You can't discover a land where people already exist. Thus did the false god Christ's mortal worshipers cross over to Guatemala, or the Americas, North America, and with them Luamong landed and stationed in Guatemala 1 billion angel warriors, sworn laborers to the false Christ. Right? I told you Luamong is the false god Christ. This is why you see a revivification of Quetzalcoatl and all these stuff later, 1500s, 1600s. You did what I'm talking about with these people in Mesoamerica. And they established Luamong in these great lands in America. So America was not established with Christian ideology or Bible. It was brought here. When true God saw how evil had already taken root in these countries in America. So look, it wasn't here for the most part before colonizers got here. right? And don't think that many of these colonizers also didn't have your same brown skin tone coming from Europe. God saw, when God, true God, saw how evil had already taken root in these countries, behold, he was doubly resolved to obey the Creator's commandments in regard to the inquisitions, in which the Creator had said, let the false god Christ, Luamong, carry out the inquisitions to put to death whomever he will. For it shall come to pass that the spirits of those who he slays in Roma, listen, in Rome, in Venice, in Naples, and in all other countries and cities will remain in their places with vengeance on their soul. And in time will come, and the time will come when you shall withdraw your protecting angel host from those cities. And behold, these angels of vengeance will come forth and visit their wrath upon this false god and his kingdom. So this begins and is the main source cause of the split of Christianity. All right, watch this. Let's keep going. So God was strong in resolution to let evil take its course. And so in all countries where the false Christ had been afflicting mortals, God withdrew his protecting host, leaving those countries and those heavens to take their course. And it came to pass, so damn, even true God was looking out after and looking out for the false gods. That's what a true God should do. That's what a true president would do. You dig what I'm talking about? A true leader. He gonna look out for the people even when they don't know they need to be looked out for. Yeah. He was already there in the false god kingdom, but he withdrew his angels, right? That in a sense protecting the false gods from their own minions, right? God withdrew his protecting host, leaving those countries and those heavens to take their course. And it came to pass that the angels of vengeance came forth for battle, to battle other angels, and to obsess mortals to battle also, and all against the false Christ. So this is where we see the wars rising 14, 15, 1600s, right? Thus was opened the door for the split in Luamong of the false gods doctrine, which was to ultimate in the entire overthrow of the Trinity, and the Holy Ghost, and of Luamong also under his false name Christ. And so war began again on the earth and in Luamong's heavens, concerning himself and his doctrines. To make matters worse for himself, he established angel emissaries in his earthly kingdom in Rome to inspire the popes. Listen, to inspire the popes. This is the guy who inspiring the Catholic popes, to inspire the popes to cause mortals to be scourged, imprisoned, and put to death. These are called the Inquisitions for heresy. And these things were done in the name of who? What didn't dumb diverses get signed in the name of who? Y'all thought Christ was Jesus. No. Christ is the name of the God the false Jesus prayed to. Who do you think? What do you think the name of the Christian God is? Ain't it Christ? checkmate. And it came to pass that no man could express a word or thought reflecting upon Luamong's earthly doctrines or government without falling victim to mortal and angel emissaries of this false Christ. Truly, many of the mortal cities were obsessed by angels of darkness and evil. And this is what happened
Create a gang gang.
when true God removed his emissaries from the false God's kingdoms. Right? In course of time, behold, mortals, inspired by vengeance-loving spirits, rose up against Luamong of the false gods, popes, and cardinals, and protested against the abnegation of man's right to think for himself. As the Bible told you, judge not lest ye be judged. You dig what I'm saying? So it's telling you not to use your own judgment. There was groups in Europe that were fighting back from Catholic oppression. But now you know why. Because the God of the Bible, Christ, is a false God. And his heaven is falling to shambles because true God has turned his back on it. And he letting it take its course. Now people would say, you know, that's cold. God's supposed to be better than that. But sometimes, you did what I'm talking about. The best course for a sickness or a flu is to let it run its course. Sometimes, and most of the time, when you're around bad people, the best recourse is to just remove yourself from the situation. That don't stop no love. You know what I mean? But it get to a point to where you got to grow up. Or in a sense, do some right in the spiritual world. And true God can't be rocking with the low demonic dudes. And look, true God didn't war against him. He ain't put no sanctions on him. He ain't try to, you know what I mean? He just turned his back on him. You got to go ahead and do that, bro. You know, you got to walk your own path. And look, and this is what happened in course of time. Behold, mortals, inspired by vengeance-loving spirits, rose up against the false God, Christ's popes and cardinals. Who are the popes and cardinals with? The Catholic Church. And protested against the abnegation of man's right to think for himself. And these people called themselves what? Protestants, professing that they were to Christ. This is going on in the real world. This is what's going on. A true one and a false one. And moreover, that they themselves were the worshipers of the true Christ. We see this play out in many denominations: Baptist, AME, Swedenborg, Mormon, Latter-day Saints. Everybody claim that they praise in the true Christ, don't they? Not knowing that they praising the false God Christ himself, or one of his little lower lesser minions who faking like they God. Watch. And these people call themselves Protestants, professing that there were two Christs, a true one and a false one, and moreover that they themselves were worshipers of the true Christ. Nevertheless, they were also under the inspiration of evil angels. Protestants didn't come over to America do no better. Nevertheless, they were also under the inspiration of evil angels, for they failed to work burning and flaying their opponents also during the Inquisitions. They never told you that the Catholics was getting it back from the Protestants. Chapter 10. And S said, and Spirit said, When God saw that Luamong's warrior angels had come upon the earth regions discovered by Colombo, God withdrew, saying, Behold, I will use this. Behold, I will use this as a testimony to the Creator and against the false Christ in time to come. For I will withdraw my angel host and give up for a season. What? The central lands of Guatemala. So we talking about Mexico. We talking about Guatemala. We talking about Honduras. We talking about Panama. All that from Panama to Mexico, Central America. Right? He say, I'm going to use this as proof against you later on, the false God. He say, look, now listen. It says, and it shall come to pass that mortals in Central America shall not prosper in peace, nor righteousness, nor in learning, nor in science. And they went down fast. From the time of colonization or contact, it went down fast. Now you know why. Huh? Because they stopped prospering in peace or righteousness and learning and in science. And they stopped prospering in inventions and in anything good under the sun. For what? The false God Christ, Luamong, aka in many parts, Quetzalcoatl. Huh? Also known as the false Manito. Huh? For the false god Luamong's warrior angels shall obsess them, and they shall build up and then destroy. Huh? Ain't that what happened in Mesoamerica? Where are the Mayans? Huh? Where are the Inca? Huh? What happened to the Caribs? And it shall come to pass that mortals in these lands, well, listen, hold on. For Luamong's warrior angels shall obsess them, and they shall build up and then destroy. We see this historically. Great buildings already there. They keep building for a minute, and then it goes to pot. And the people, who? The Aliatis, who y'all keep calling Mayan. Right? Y'all keep calling them Mayans. The quote unquote Mayans, who white people call them this, they're just anybody from a certain area and from a certain span of time. The Mayans called themselves Aliatis. Huh? These are your Mayans. The Yorupans, or who we would call the Aztecs, right? They call them Aztec. They're not Aztec. They didn't call themselves Aztec. The name that they called themselves was Yoruban. Right? The Mayans and the Aztecs shall be destroyed. Did it happen, y'all? Huh? They shall be destroyed. And the who? And the Atuans. Huh? The mixes. Right? Between the nigger stocks. You dig what I'm talking about? Who go down to South America and become your Inca, are called Atuan. Obviously down from Ahuan, the great megalithic builder. But remember, the Inca told you they didn't build nothing. And mind you, the Inca still niggas. But did their great cities get ruined? Yes. Huh? The Aztecs, the Yoruba, huh? Being in Mexico clearly refers to the Aztecs, as its last ruler was named Montezuma. The Atuans possibly refers to the Incas. And this is what we find in the historical record matching it. Now, it came to pass, as spoken by God, the central lands of Guatemala from sea to sea fell under the dominion of the warrior angels of the false god Christ. And they became warriors and destroyers. Neither did they rise in peace nor wisdom, nor in anything good under the sun, but they lived as pilferers, debauchees, warriors, murderers, and idolaters of the false Christ, who at this time would have been known as Quetzalcoatl. God had said he would also be usurp the name Kukulkan too. God had said, I will go northward to the western coast of Europa, and my angel shall inspire another people to migrate to Guatemala or America for conscience sake or for the creator's sake. And it shall be proved, listen, it shall be proved in time to come that those whom I, true God, shall take across the ocean shall inherit America, and they shall prosper in peace. That means somebody wasn't warned while everybody was warned, and they still prospering today, and they not warned today. Huh? Can we name a people like that? Right? That come from Europe? Let it sink in for a second. Think about it. And they shall prosper in peace, virtue, wisdom, learning, and inventions. We know most people who come from Europe did not prosper in peace, virtue, wisdom, learning, and inventions. They were some of the most barbaric, unvirtuous, unlearned, and heathenistic people to have ever walked the planet. And yet, there were some who were just the opposite. Huh? And man, in after time, right? This 15, 16, 1700s, 1800s, right? Because we right in between the 400 years between 1448 and 1848. This encompasses the book of S. See, we able to put what we're talking about on timeline and then prove it historically. That's one of the dope parts about OAHSPE. It just don't talk. And it shall be proven time to come that those whom I shall take across the ocean shall inherit the Americas, and they shall prosper in peace, virtue, wisdom, learning, and inventions, and man in aftertime shall witness the difference between people of Luamon's possessions as compared with my own in the northern region. So what they saying is it's gonna be some evil white niggas talking about Jesus, and it's gonna be some niggas who ain't talking about no Jesus, or saying they serve a whole different Jesus, and they don't fight. They virtuous, hella intelligent, not racist, not trying to colonize to come over here and dominate. Was there ever white people like that in America? Was it some black people with them? Don't pigeonhole yourself. Let's keep reading. Pages 286 to 289 of the Science and Technologies, Discoveries, Inventions of 2010, the World Almanac of the Books of Facts. Right? They talking about the 215 U.S. inventions since that time, right? And the breakdown of the peoples in the countries. Central American, you did what I'm talking about, in the Central American countries and religions. Honduras, 97% Catholic. Mexico, Nicaragua, El Salvador, Panama, Costa Rica. Now, I want you to notice one thing they said, everything about every one of these places right here. They all had a genocide. Every one of these countries, Panama, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Mexico, where there's a high Roman Catholic religion, that's because in 4 times there was a lot of replacement by Roman Catholic people. And look, we still got Protestant evangelicals and all these still in there. Look at the United States. Interesting, right? The United States is only 51% Protestant and 24% Roman Catholic. Interesting. So it seemed like in the United States, we wasn't buying all that Roman Catholic bullshit for the most part. That they wasn't setting up no government over here based on no Bible or none of that. Look at the U.S. treaty with Tripoli, right? 1796, 1797 says, as the government of the United States of America is not in any sense founded on the Christian religion. Edison, right? Sources all at the bottom. Y'all can stop, tap in, whatever you did. What I'm talking about. Sources, everything is sourced up. Edison earned 1,093 United States patents and recorded a number for a record number for one person that still stands. He also earned at least several hundred foreign patents from Great Britain, France, Germany, and other countries. Most foreign patents were similar to the Americans. Historian Paul Israel has characterized Edison as a free thinker. Edison was heavily influenced by Thomas Paine's Age of Reason. Edison defended Paine's scientific deism, saying he has been called an atheist, but atheist he was not. Paine believed in a supreme intelligence as representing the idea which other men often express by the name of deity. You have misunderstood the whole article because you jumped to the conclusion that it denies the existence of God. There is no such denial. What you call God, I call nature, the supreme intelligence that rules matter. He also stated, I do not believe in the God of the theologians, but that there is a supreme intelligence I do not doubt. Nonviolence was key to Edison's moral views. And when asked to serve as a naval consultant for World War I, he specified he would work only on defensive weapons, and later noted, I am proud of the fact that I never invented weapons to kill. Edison's philosophy of nonviolence extended to animals as well, about which he stated, nonviolence leads to the highest ethics, which is the goal of all evolution. Until we stop harming all other living beings, we are still savages. Hold on one second. Let me go back up a little bit. Right. And this is from Edison, A Life of Invention by John Wiley and Sons. right? Now let's get into this conquistadors. From Spanish, conquistadors or conquerors were soldiers, explorers, and adventurers at the service of the Spanish Empire and the Portuguese Empire. The name derived from the Reconquista, completed in what? 1492. The reconquest of the territory of the what? The Iberian Peninsula that had been controlled by various Muslim states known through much of that time as Al-Andalus. They sailed beyond Europe, conquering territory and opening trade routes. The conquistadors were professional warriors. The conquistadors were professional warriors using European tactics, firearms, combat dogs, and cavalry. Castilian law banned foreigners and non-Catholics from the New World. However, not all conquistadors were Castilian or Christian. Many foreigners Hispanicized. Oh, okay. Many foreigners Hispanicized their name. They took on Hispanic names. The Hispanic showing that they show allegiance to Christ. Willing dupes. Wow, to go to war and kill in the name of a false god. You must have felt stupid when you died. You dig what I'm talking about? It can't be no worse than these people over here killing somebody for nothing right now. You dig what I'm saying? The two most famous conquistadors were Hernan Cortez, who conquered the Aztec Empire, and Fernando Pizarro, who led the conquest of the Incan Empire. Remember the Atuas and the Aliates? Yeah, or the Europans. Yeah. Listen, Hernan and Pizarro, who led the conquest of the Inca Empire and the Aztec Empire, were second cousins. Born in Extremadura, as were many of the Spanish conquerors. Now, this is from Webster's 9th New College Dictionary. Right? Biblical name. Biographical names. Right? Let's get into what the breakdown is and let's see what OAHSPE got to say. Columbus, Italian, Cristoforo Colombo, born 1491 1506, Italian navigator, discovered, quote unquote, discovered America. He spied it. Columbus Day, October 12th, formally observed as a legal holiday in many states of the United States. Conquistadors were a leader in the Spanish conquest of America and especially of Mexico and Peru in the 16th century. Lutheran, 1530. Of or relating to the religious doctrines as justification by faith alone, developed by Martin Luther or his followers, of or relating to the Protestant churches adhering to Lutheran doctrines, liturgy, and polity. Was a Protestant, a member of any of several church denominations denying the universal authority of the Pope, in affirming the Reformation principles of justification by faith alone, the priesthood of believers, and the primacy of the Bible as the only source of revealed truth, broadly a Christian, not a Catholic or the Eastern Church. That's what a Protestant is. But we read about a Lutheran. Well, let's go see who was named after. Martin Luther, right? And this is crazy because so much German stuff keep getting brought up lately, right? You dig what I'm talking about? And I be diving, and all I do is bring up a lot of this German stuff. When you looking worldwide, but in America we see something else. But dig this: Martin Luther was born as Hans Luther, huh? Martin Luther, huh? Real name is Hans Luther, and his wife Marguerite Lindemann on November 10th, 1483 in Eisleben, Saxony. Martin Luther was a German monk, Catholic priest, professor of theology, and seminal figure of a reform movement in the 16th century or the 1500s, right? A reform movement in the 16th century Christianity, subsequently known as the Protestant Reformation. Luther taught that salvation and subsequently eternity in heaven is not earned by good deeds, but is received only as a free gift of God's grace through faith in Jesus Christ. Right? See the dupe? We know who Christ is now. Now they're talking about praising a man, his physical representation upon earth, who was not real either. He was a literary invention itself. Story get deep. Huh? As a redeemer from sin and subsequently eternity in hell, his theology challenged the authority of the Pope of the Roman Catholic Church by teaching that the Bible is the only source of divine revealed knowledge from God. That would have raised the problem. 1483 to 1484, much below normal, cloudy down spike, coldest down spike of between 1450 and 1500. Now, y'all might be talking about, what are you talking about down spikes? You're talking about temperature, and they're also talking about light. Because what many of y'all don't know is at this time, 1450, remember I told you we only talking about the time between roughly 1448 or 1450 to 1850. Guess what? At the same time, we're going through a mini ice age. It's not a mistake, right? It's not a by chance. This thing is happening on purpose. But why? We'll get into that in another thing. But this is what's downing the light, right? The down spark in the light in cold. It brings on an ice age, a mini ice age. Temperatures overall drop about 6 degrees. That's massive. So we have glaciers picking up, crops dying off, super cold winters, wet summers, so crops can't grow. It was bad in Europe. Right? So this is why you got to take that into account, as in the why a lot of these people, or the era of exploration even starts. They running from their conditions. This is how you can be so barbaric, because you're living that way. The Conquistadors were Christians from Spain and Portugal. Listen, Conquistadors were Christians from Spain and Portugal. The Conquistadors were not into setting people free, but the opposite. They went forth conquering. They were under the same inspiration as Roman Emperor Constantine, who was told by an anthropomorphic spirit that manifested to him. Who? An anthropomorphic spirit that showed him the Kai in a row on his way to the Battle of Milvian Bridge in 312. Huh? Didn't he say that a spirit appeared to him, showed him the cross in the sky? Everybody seen it, not just him. So everybody had a delusion all at once. Well, then he goes on to say through Eusebius, he tells the story to Eusebius. He said, man, listen, that night, man, a nigga came to me and said, and told him, right, to conquer. Huh? Purported to be your Jesus is the false God Christ appearing to Constantine. Huh? An anthropomorphic spirit that manifested to him and told him to conquer. They came to kill, steal, and destroy, the opposite of what the real Yeshua and the Essenes did. Although Protestants had doctrinal disputes. Oops, my bad. Although Protestants had doctrinal disputes with the Catholics, they derived their Bible from the same source. So they all under the same God spell. This is just one of the little homies gods that broke off the false God Christ and inspired his little prophet named Martin Luther. Or Hans Luther. They're going to talk about. Although Protestants had doctrinal disputes with the Catholics, they derived their Bible from the same source, from the Council of Nicaea and Emperor Constantine. Huh? Who told Eusebius to make the first 50 Bibles with the complete Old and New Testament canon. Huh? OAHSPE, Book of S, Daughter of Jehovah, chapter 10 and 4. Now it came to pass, as spoken by God, the central lands of the Americas, Guatemala, from sea to sea, fell under the dominion of the warrior angels of Luamon, the false Christ. And they became warriors and destroyers. Neither did they rise in peace, nor wisdom, nor in anything good under the sun, but they lived as pilferers, debauchees, warriors, murderers, and idolaters of the false Christ. God has said, I will go northward, to Western Europa, and my angels shall inspire another people to migrate to Guatemala for conscience sake. And it shall be proved in time to come that those who shall take the ocean, those who I shall take across the ocean, shall inherit Guatemala, and they shall prosper in peace, virtue, wisdom, learning, and inventions. And man in aftertime shall witness the difference between the people of Luamon's possession, or the false Christ, right? Those who came up under that with that Inquisition, that whitening of America, the emblanquimiento, huh? The Inquisition. You'll be able to tell the difference between the people of them, the false God, right, as compared with my own, or true God, in the northern regions. This is why, for the most part, the Catholic ideology gets no play, or Christianity as a whole gets no play in America. That doesn't come till later. Look, simple. The top 10 countries with Nobel laureates in order. Pay attention to how top heavy this list is, right? The numbers drop precipitously. Look, the United States, 347 Nobel laureates. The next greatest is Britain with 120, less than, damn near 3 times less. All right, let's jump into some of this. What is a Druja? A Druja is a spirit of a very low order. In the book of OAHSPE's Amazing Predictions of Things to Come by Laura Horst, pages 183 on 184, it says, the heavenly kingdoms of the four chief false gods were split into hundreds of remnants. S said, during the last 400 years prior to 1848. So just like I told y'all, 1448 to 1848. So now we know exactly what time. So if we know exactly what time we in right now, y'all, hit me with a 1 in the chat. If y'all know we in between 1448 and 1848, hit me with a 1 in the chat. Right? Y'all see that? Right here. That said, during the last 400 years prior to 1848. So we in 48. So this is what we talking about. Many of the officers of the four chief false gods. Who are the four chief false gods? Buddha, Brahma, Allah, and Christ. These are the four beast heads of religion spoken about in every religion, religious ideology, also broken down in the book of Revelations in the Bible. It wasn't the demise of the world, it was the demise of their worlds. Once you understand that prophecy is personal, even the false god would have been given, even in a reworked version, would have been given a narrative of what is entailed for himself. So all that falling and new earth and all that and being lake of fire, that's what he got coming for him. Huh? Once you learn absolute rules govern prophecy, you'll look at Revelations totally different. Huh? Many of the officers, listen, the little homies of the four chief false gods had seceded from them and had set up small heavenly kingdoms of their own. Listen, and this is in America. And there were on earth thousands of petty, false, Druidian, or demonic gods. Thousands of them, all of them calling themselves Christ. Huh? Dwelling in their heavenly kingdoms of darkness and misery. And their mortal followers were called sects. Were they not? We only talking between 1448 and 1848, y'all. Those little kingdoms were, for the most part, situated on the earth as spirits still low, man. And usually these small Druidian or demonic gods inhabited where the churches, where the mortals came to worship. And the preachers within these churches fell under the inspiration of these itinerant false gods and their gangs of wandering demonic spirits. Right? Now, all of these false Druidian, this Druidian means low, dark, demonic, dangerous. It's the source word for drudgery and drug. Right? It's a spiritual state. It's to be negative. It's to be selfish. It's to be low. It's to be dark. Now, all of these false Druidian gods, whether of China, India, Arabia, Europe, or North America, all of them rejected the Creator, the Great Spirit. And they took the names of someone of the four chief false gods. You hear that? This is how you start to get a Buddha in America, Brahma in America, Allah in America. Why? Because all of them hated the Creator. So each Druidian god professed that he himself was the real true God and Savior. And all of their mortal followers believed their doctrinal teachings, and numerous sects originated. such as the who? Let's name them out. Call them out. The Presbyterians, the Methodists, the Episcopalians, the Baptists, the Lutherans, the Mormons, the Shakers, and many other sects.
Creator gang gang.
Presbyterian, you get a shot. Episcopalian, you get a shot. Baptist, you get a shot. Mormons, you get a shot. So everybody up here talking about, oh, you a Jehovah's Witness or y'all niggas is Mormons. Boy, you don't know what's in OAHSPE. Huh? OAHSPE shooting at their God. Showing you how to expose it. Pay attention. They all professed that they worship the true Christ. Let me go back and read that again. I'm going to go back and read it. I'm going to go back from the top. Now, all of these false demonic gods, whether in China, India, Arabia, Europe, or North America, they all rejected the Creator, the Great Spirit. And they took the names of some or one of the 4 false chief gods. And each demonic Druidian god professed that he himself was the real God, and Savior. And all of their mortal followers believed their doctrinal teachings just like today. And listen, numerous sects originated, such as the Presbyterians, bah, Methodists, fa, Episcopalians, bah, Baptists, Lutherans, Mormons, put that little mug. Shakers, look at many other sects. OAHSPE Creator not playing with none of y'all. All y'all getting exposed. Everything in the dark is getting brought to the light. Everything that was trooping in the light is going to be made everlasting. They all profess to worship the true Christ, didn't it? Didn't John Smith of the Mormons? And they denounced all others as false. Even so was it with all the numerous sects. And most of the mortals did not practice righteousness and good works, but they were warriors and money getters for their own self's sake. Yeah, expose them. This is why they don't like OAHSPE. This is why they don't want you to read it. Right? Your false God can't take this. Oh boy, he hate me right now. Trust me. And these false demonic gods had small heavenly kingdoms of their own, such as the Lutheran heaven, a Methodist heaven, a Baptist heaven, and so on. Remember, when Swedenborg comes back and tells his tale, he talks about a Swedenborg heaven. And when a mortal person died, listen, this is what's going to happen to you praising that God, right? When a mortal person died, if you don't get back to the Great Spirit, right? This is what's going to happen. When you die, your spirit went to the heaven of the sect he worshiped while on earth. And when a spirit cried out, I want to see Jesus, I want to go to Christ, he was shown that demonic God, that false God, and told, oh, here you go. There he is. There he is. Listen to what they say. The which he believed to be true. Watch this. For what is bound on earth is bound in heaven, as above, so below. And such spirits became servants or slaves to these false demonic gods, calling out for Jesus. Oh, Jesus. So if you in China, guess what? You call out for Jesus when you die, you call, oh, Jesus, come save me, Jesus. Guess what you gonna get? You gonna get Chinese Jesus. And they gonna go, ni hao. I come to a bring a sword. Yeah. You in India? You, oh, Jesus, save you. We don't need Kutsman. We will save you, Cosmo. We are Jesus Christus. You dig what I'm talking about? You call on Jesus in Africa, you dad. Guess what? You're going to get an African Jesus. You call on the blind hair white boy in Europe. Guess what you're going to get? Huh? Unseasoned food. That's what you're going to get. You're going to get white Jeebus. And guess what? If you are Israelite and you going and you think this Jeebus character is real, guess who's going to come and dupe you? Nigga Jesus. Why? Because whether in China, India, Arabia, or Europe, they took on one of the names of these false gods. Huh? They ain't got no shame before Creator. They can take any name they want to or come in any form they want to. Huh? And when you die, right, being bound to this false god, you was made a slave. That's what's going to happen to y'all. You think you going to go to heaven in that little bird box that's going to drop about the sky, right? Is a heaven. What you don't know is it's a prison. I have a strong belief in destiny. Although I grew up in a Christian church, Christian home, in a Christian community, most of my religious beliefs derive from OAHSPE. Who said this? I said from time to time, people ask me why I haven't married. The question implies that something is wrong with an unmarried person. OAHSPE says one should be glad if he or she is not inclined to marry, because single people are not bound in the first resurrection after death, waiting for their spouse and children to join them. Damn. And parents, listen to this. Parents cannot rise until joined by their children. Huh? What you don't know is you're going to see 6 generations of your babies here raise up. That's 200 years. And then you can go on to the next level. Huh? You got to take them babies with you. Ain't no rising without you and yours. Right? There's system and order in the heavens, just like there's system and order on earth. Now listen to this. They always try to claim us to be these Mormons or these Latter-day Saints, or that Yahweh or Jehovah or the Great Spirit as we know it, because we don't give a damn what you call it. We say Creator. Nigga, we just explain the function, and that differentiates any God from the Creator, because God don't make nothing. He don't give life especially. You dig what I'm talking about? God is part of the creation too. The Creator creates God. If the Creator creates all, right? Well, then all would include God too, correct? All right, then. Let's get to exposing. A Druidian god, a demonic god named Payah. Y'all don't know nothing about no Payah. Huh? But I bet you know about his religion. Let's go see what Payah set up. Remember, we only talking about between 1448 in 1848, right? A Druidian god named Payah established a sect. Remember, in that time, they were being called sects. And he called it what? Mormon. If you ever heard of the Mormons, hit me with a 2 in the chat. Hit me with a 2 in the chat if you ever heard of Mormons. My bad. I'll get back to these. I can't see I don't be seeing the chat. Yeah. False God killers, bro. False God killers. Everything, anything false. Everything false getting exposed. Yeah. Let me see if I can blow it up a little bit more so y'all can see it. Let me see. Right. Let me show y'all this. Where we at? Right here. A Drusian god named Paya established a sect and named it Mormon. Huh? If you ever heard of Mormons, hit me with a 2 in the chat. Right? But if you never heard of the god Paya, if you never heard of the god Paya before, hit me with a 3 in the chat. Right? If you never heard of Paya, hit me with 3 in the chat, because they told you that this was the true Christ. Didn't they? Didn't they tell you that he worshiped the true Christ? They all did. Because they all fake. Right? This is where your Mormons come from. Let's get the exposing. This 2025, huh? April 8th. You did one from April 24th last year. April 8th, 2024 to April 2025. Starts off the sun cycle. We're going into a golden age. We about to expose everything. Let's expose the Mormons. They were established by a demonic Drusian god named Paya. And look, he located his kingdom on earth with his mortal followers. So this is where you get your Lamanite, Nemalites, and whoever writes in a book and all this story from is coming from the imagination of a false god named Paya. Huh? And look, and Paya became master over the spirits of his mortal followers in the same way, calling himself the what? Y'all think Cosmon be making this? I ain't making this up. They call himself the true Christ today. Go look it up. I'm still cooking. Paya taught that all good Mormons will ultimately attain to rule over, listen, I'm not making this up. This is in their book. You would rule over some planet and her heavens. But he never permitted the angels of his kingdom to go out of his reach. He also taught mortals, listen, he taught man on earth, John Smith and all them, that the more numerous progeny a man begot, or polygamy, called plural marriage by the Mormons in the 19th century, or the principle by modern fundamentalists, right? The more babies he had with the more wives, the greater his heavenly kingdom would be in time to come. This is an undeniable fact for Mormons today. Has anybody ever seen the show Sister Wives? A man married 2 sisters. They're both his wives. Why? Because a demon who professes himself to be a god taught them the principle that the more men or the more babies you had, the greater your kingdom would be in time to come. Is that made up, Cosmon? All y'all got to do is go look and see if does it say that they're gonna get a planet that they're gonna live on, right? And does it say that the more babies you have, the more plentiful your kingdom would be after you die in Mormon ideology? And it's gonna say yes. Why? Because the creator ain't lying to you. You ain't nobody to lie to. And if y'all think JBN knew this, he couldn't have. JVN ain't know this. That's why I'm kind of glad JVN was real about it. Well, I'm real glad that he was real about it and just admit it. Like, dog, I didn't even read none of this till after it was written. I didn't know what was going on the whole time. I didn't see it. I wasn't trying to see it. I didn't want him to, stop me from writing. You did what I'm talking about? I didn't learn none of this till after it was over. And he was like, bro, he said, even if I'd have tried to claim that I wrote this, my family would have known I was lying and would have called me out. Like, bro, you capping. You ain't even this smart, Dennis. You did what I'm talking about, Dennis the Menace. You ain't this smart. You had it. It had to come from otherworldly or spiritual foundations, because you didn't have it. And that's the dope thing about OAHSPE. If you take a time to look at it, bro, it'll break your fear. Most people just scared of reading the book. That's really what's going on. Right. So, because why he was saying that, why he was telling the Mormons that the more progeny you begot, the greater the heavenly kingdom would be in time to come. Right? When really we found out that you're going to be a slave in his heaven. Right? So he lying right there. But why was that? Why was he saying that? Because that was Payad's scheme to make his own heavenly kingdom large and powerful. Because he know all these people did he get, they willing dupes of Mormonism too. And so are they children. This is why we got to break the religious dogmatic sentiments of being put over our life. But at the same time, I'm not here to force nothing on nobody, because you can't tell nobody what this thing is doing for them. You dig what I'm talking about? But what I will say is, if you're going to try to be a Christian, well, live to the highest ideal of what the best Christian was. Jesus. Right? And then do everything he say do. But then guess what? What's after that? Once you complete it, what's after it? Once you live that lifestyle already, let's say you do it for 10 years, you virtually Jesus. Then what? That's where OAHSPE comes in. Many cult leaders and Drew just say to have as many wives and father as many children as he can, like Payah, according to OAHSPE, the angel of the Lord that Joseph and Hiram quote as telling them to start polygamy or he would cut them down is the false god Payah, thought of in OAHSPE. Listen, the angel of the Lord that Joseph and Hiram quote as telling them to start polygamy. This is in the Mormon book, y'all. Right? This is in the Mormon book. Right? In the Mormon book, it tell him an angel told Joseph and Hiram to start polygamy, or what he was going to do. He was going to kill him. He was going to cut him down. And, right? That's the false god Payah taught in OAHSPE. If these accounts are true, then Joseph really was a fallen prophet in that respect, at least. The prophet reported that the angel came to me 3 times. Joseph Smith, right? He reported that the angel came to me 3 times between the years of 1834 and 1842 and said I was to obey that principle or he would slay me. This is from 1905 BYU testimony of Mary Elizabeth Lightner. Oh, her name's Lightner. Or the dog man ears should have just perked up a little bit. A cold decline, listen, starting in 1834, hit a much below normal down spike in 1837, then up in 1840, and then an almost down spike and much below normal cold in 1842, or a time of Aja, right? This is what was called galactically semi-darkness. This is the coldest period from 1487 to 1901, 414 years, right? Now, this leads, to spiritual bondage, as one cannot rise higher than the heavens until its children rise above, right? OAHSPE, Book of Judgment, chapter 28 and 11. My laborers shall not have desire to be either, shall not have desire to be either fathers or mothers. Also, the spiritual state of Aisu, which is, by the way, what they call the prophet in the original King James Bible, Aisu, right? Which is really a spiritual state of a man, not a specific man, because many prophets were Aisu. Also, the spiritual state of Aisu, which according to OAHSPE is man's spiritual destiny and higher state, is when man rises above the sexual beast nature and gets rid of sexual passion. Of course, there is another wrong with sex and sexual passion. It has its place as far as reproduction and as means for a spirit to enter the physical universe. But it is meant for the lower grades, not for higher education. Balance, peace, bliss, community, brotherhood, and helping others is more important than being sexual or non-sexual. Interesting. Another Druidian god named Lauganus, right? Lauganus. You dig what I'm saying? Y'all never heard of this dude, Lauganus. If you never heard of a god named Lauganus, hit me with a 4 in the chat. Hit me with the 4s. If you never heard of them, I ain't never heard of them. I'm throwing up 4. You dig what I'm talking about? I never heard of Lauganus. Never heard of this guy. You dig what I'm talking about? Never seen him a day in the day of my life. Never heard of this dude. But let's see if you heard what Lauganus produced, right? Another demonic god, right, named Lauganus, established a kingdom and named it what? Shaker heaven. Who the Shakers praying to, y'all? Huh? Don't they pray to somebody who say, oh, I'm the true Christ? Huh? No, some more fuck niggas that came over here and did some harm to the Aboriginal American, the Anguigan. Huh? Remember, Jaja said you gonna be able to tell the truth between the niggas that the false God Christ sent over here and the people I sent over here. The people I sent over here never fought. Watch this. But we got a Shaker God, right? This is where the Shakers, this is the Christ they praying. His real name is Lauganus, but he took on the name Christ too, pretending what? He was true Christ. Also, listen, another Druidian god named Sayawan, right? He called himself the Lord. He raised up a mortal named Emmanuel Swedenborg. Let me show y'all that this ain't fake. Watch this. Hold on. Emmanuel Swedenborg. Watch what they say about him. Right? We just gonna pull up a quick Wikipedia. Let me show y'all what they say about it. They gonna say he was you know, like you know, you could speak to the afterworld, and you dig what I'm talking about, all that shit. You dig what I'm talking about? Right. Let's read what it say about him. Right. He raised up who raised him up? Sayawan, who called himself the Lord, and told Sweetenborg to call himself the Lord. So we're gonna look and see if Sweetenborg is calling this guy, the angel, the true Christ. You dig what I'm talking about? And calling him Lord. You dig what I'm talking about? Let's see. He taught, right? He raised up one Emmanuel Swedenborg. He taught that the Lord Jesus Christ, the Lord. So if he calling himself Lord Jesus Christ, that's a giveaway sign that is really Taiwan out of the Swedenborg ideology. He taught that the Lord Jesus Christ is the one and only God. How many people we didn't seen of the Christian church tell you, especially the apologists, tell you that Jesus, the man, is God. Huh? And he taught that the Lord Jesus was the only God, and mortals looked upon that false God as the true Christ. And after death, their spirits went thither, or went with Taiwan. So it came to pass, as has been prophesied of old, lo, Christ here, lo, Christ there. Everybody saying, oh, Jesus here, Jesus there. And then we see that in the 1800s with the spiritualist movement, all type of Bibles being written. You dig what I'm talking about? Everything. But let's go look at Swedenborg. Right? Let's just look at a little bit of Swedenborg. Was a Swedish polymath, scientist, engineer, astronomer, anatomist, and Christian theologian, philosopher, and what? A mystic. Right? Mysticism, popularly known to becoming one with God or the absolute, may refer to any kind of ecstasy or altered state of consciousness which is given religious or spiritual meaning. Right? So this is Emmanuel Swedenborg, the picture that they show. Emmanuel Swedenborg may also be a brother. Don't let it, iconoclasm is real. Right? So just because I got some hints to JVM, I don't know, man. I ain't gonna go there yet. Right? He became best known for his book on the afterlife, heaven and hell. Right, where he tells a story of going to hell and heaven, being took by a god. You dig what I'm talking about? And OAHSPE explains the same things. OAHSPE says, and then he writes a book later. That's what people got to understand. Before this was being exposed, or anybody knew it, OAHSPE had already written it down. That's why 1881 is such a special year. And if you notice, it's 33 years after 1848. Remember, we only talking about 1448 to 1848. That is called a time. You ever remember in the Bible where they say a time and a half time? Well, time is a 400-year span of time. A half time is 200 years. Huh? So after the time, the first 33 years into the Cosmine era, or to the time of balance and light, you dig what I'm talking about? We get OAHSPE perfectly on time. Hit different when you know what you're talking about. Mother Ann Lee, right, was the leader of the United Society of Believers in Christ's Second Appearing, or Shakers in England. Ann Lee rose to prominence by urging other believers to preach more publicly concerning the imminent second coming. Was she correct? Hell no. They all fake. What was the brother that was the Israelite brother that was claiming that it was going to be the end of the world in 2000? What was his name? Not Ariel. Was it Ariel? I forget the brother name, but he was a One West. You dig what I'm talking about? Aziel. I think he started GSC or Great Millstone, GMS. That guy who goes on to start that. He was for years have been the world is coming to an end. You niggas don't die. He had been screaming that shit from the mountaintop. You dig what I'm talking about? He been screaming it from the mountaintop. Yeah, that's right. That's right, Sheila. I see you. Shout out. You ever got to come over there on Black Royal Family and cook up? You dig what I'm talking about? They're not ready for these activities that, you know what I mean, how Jaja really working in these streets. You dig what I'm talking about? They don't even see this light. Shout out to all the Crips and Bloods on the West Coast that's slowing down that banging, getting back into man mode. And even if you do got some issues that you got to handle, these boys is accepting fades and not shooting. I gotta salute y'all. What I'm trying to tell y'all is we into a whole new golden era. The next 11 years, from 2024 to 2035, is going down. It's going down. Whole new everything is coming. Even a whole new monetary system. Huh? All good things in the world come from faith, so we gonna lead it. And when whatever happened, we ain't gonna be by y'all. Whatever happened, we ain't got to worry about it. Better get yourself together, get right with the Creator, do that dark work on yourself. Start with just eating some veggies, fruits. Turn your diet up. Do a fast. You dig what I'm talking about? A lot of people can't do a whole day fast. Just do a 16-hour fast. Start off like that. Don't eat for 16 hours. Then the next day, don't eat for 20 hours. Then the next day, don't trick yourself. You're going to need some water. Right? But guess what? You'll work that mug up to where you're not even eating food. Look up a thing called breatharian. You dig what I'm talking about? I know it's crazy. They always say it's crazy till they see it. Don't make no sense till it smack you in the face. Then it make all the sense in the world. Right? In England, Ann Lee rose to prominence by urging other believers to preach more publicly concerning the imminent second coming. False. Ain't no second coming. Nobody is coming out the sky to save you. You must save you. Look what he was trying to pump up. The imminent second coming, and to attack sin more boldly and unconventionally. Right? Sin, do that mean people? Who are you attacking? Huh? We know these Shakers had a lot of dirty dealings with the Indians. Could these be these people that's calling you pagan from the get-go? Nothing pagan about you. Or maybe you, in a sense, you are pagan, being that you don't praise a God, you praise the God maker. This is what these lowly, drudging fools can't never see. The higher light.
Creator gang gang.
Don't you know it's light below the electromagnetic spectrum or the visible range of light? Don't you know that there's light above the visible range of light? Where you want to go? Just because you can't see it don't mean it's not real. In that reality, right? Spirits are moving all around you. The point is for you to be so good, you raise them up. Moth to the flame. She spoke of visions and messages from God, claiming that she had received a vision from God. From God. Good God. Everybody get a vision from God. JBN didn't get a vision from God. He never even claimed that it was God. That's odd, ain't it? Never thought about it like that. Everybody else claimed that they spoke to God. JBN never said that. He said they was just some spirits and shit. A couple of them niggas kind of look familiar. That's what he said. He didn't say nothing about no God. Crazy part is, neither did the spirits. They spoke about the creator, the great spirit. Ooh-wee. And none of them claimed to be that great spirit. See the difference between true God and the false God? True God is never praised. He doesn't want it. Doesn't need your stinking sweat bag of a skin. You dig what I'm talking about? Praise. Don't need your little musty praise. So if a God ever asks you for prayer, that is proof he is false. He ever threatened you for any reason, let alone that you didn't do something he told you to do. That fear doctrine proves he's false. What would true God need to do something to you? When he could just do like he did to the false gods, turn his back. But true God don't ever do that. Huh? You don't do that on man. His whole point is to raise him up. But the thing is, you got free will. He can't, even true God can't stop you from choosing. They established a church. She spoke to them for hours in 72 tongues. Damn. She was born in February 29th, 1736, in between an up cold, dry, or Aja period, time of semi-darkness. Founded in England in 1747, the Shakers practiced a religion that was also a lifestyle. 1747, a down cold point, Aja. The Shakers were found in England in 1770 by Anne Lee. In the 1760s, Lee joined a sect of Quakers called Shaking Quakers. The Quakers were said to shake because they danced and spoke in tongues. Lee claimed to have had a vision from God in which it was explained to her that sexual intercourse was the root of all sin, and that to truly serve God, one must be celibate. Oh, this is where the idea come from. She came to believe that God was bisexual because both man and woman were made in his image. Now, if your God, this is another way to prove, if your God is made in the image of man, or man is made in the image of your God, which means he looks like man. If your God got an image, period, he's false. The creator does not look like man. No, man looks like man. All his flavors and races, tribes, whatever you want to call it. Right? You are an expression of the creator, but you are his image. The creator is unseen. So if anybody has an image of your God, or your God has been seen, oops, Abraham, oops, Moses, oops, Isaiah. Huh? If anybody, oops, Jacob, he whooped the shit out you. He beat the brakes off your God. If anybody ever seen him, if he has an image, that is a way to prove he is false. Why? Because look what the gods that can be seen is doing. Well, in the Bible, they're telling you to kill infant children. She became to believe that what? God was bisexual because both man and woman were made in his image. Look at the lowly earth-based knowledge he's giving them. And that was duplicated throughout nature. In 1772, Anne received another vision from God. And in the form of a tree, in which it was communicated to her that a place had been prepared for Shakers in America. It sounds like Luamong. In 1770, in between up cold or normal dry Aja, in 1772, in between cold, normal, Aja, right? The Book of Divinity, chapter 15 and 10, says, when Aja cometh upon the earth, this is why this is important. Drujas or demonic, low vibratory spirits come also. So when they were being made, we were in a cold, normal, Aegean period. This is a semi-dark period. When Aja come on earth, the same time that this darkness is being made, right? Hold on one second. Same time that this darkness is being made, called Shakerism, right? We are in a time of Aja that brings demonic spirits. The days of the darkness of the earth are their delight, right? From OAHSPE glossary, what does Druge mean? Like I keep telling you, Druge applies to an angel, a one-time living, breathing man who has died, right? An angel who is on the decline is Druge. An angel on the incline ultimately is called a bride or bridegroom, right? The same as Druk in spirit applies to a one-time living man. The same word Druk to Druge applies to a living man. So you call a low living man a Druk. You call a low spirit a Druge. Right? What does it mean? Low, dark, evil, dangerous, Druge. Emanuel Swedenborg was a scientist, philosopher, theologian, relevator, and in the eyes of some a Christian mystic, he referred to himself as the servant of the Lord Jesus Christ. in True Christian Religion, a work he published himself. He is best known for his book on the afterlife, Heaven and Hell, 1758. And in 1741, at the age of 53, he entered into the spiritual phase in which he began to experience dreams and visions, beginning on Easter weekend, April 6, 1744. Remember, we only in the time between 1448 and 1848. So where we at, y'all? Right here in 1744. Now, in April 1745, Swedenborg was dining in a private room at a tavern in London. By the end of the meal, a darkness fell upon his eyes and the room shifted character. Suddenly, he saw a person sitting at the corner of the room, telling Swedenborg, do not eat too much. Swedenborg, scared, hurried home. Later that night, the same man appeared in his dreams. The man a man appeared in his dream. I want you to understand that this spiritual stuff is your ancestors, right? Different men from around the world and all that low vibratory men, right? Gained a little power in the heaven, and now he got a dupe with some spiritual insight. And he about to look, let's see what he tell him. Told him, first of all, don't eat too much, right? Your stomach must affect your spiritual state. Let that sink in. Maybe that's why it's the first law. The man told Swedenborg that he was the Lord, that he had appointed Swedenborg to reveal the spiritual meaning of the Bible, and that he would guide Swedenborg in what to write. What? Come on, it's like something like what JB is saying. The same night, the spiritual world was open to Swedenborg. I told you there are several versions of this story, in whole or part, differing in important respects. I.g., the Lord figure seen in the corner, verse close by, conditions of dimness or darkness, verse bright light, or the date of 1744 or 1745. This is some of the differences in the different tellings of Swedenborg's story. Swedenborg explicitly rejected the common explanation of the Trinity as a trinity of persons. This is where they get that idea from Swedenborg. Instead, he explained it in his theological writings how the divine Trinity exists in one person, in one God, the Lord, the Lord Jesus Christ, which he said is taught in Colossians 2:9. Born January 4th, 1688, during a what? A cold down spike. Time of darkness. Right? Guess what? We have it on the earth at the same time. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. 1 second. Watch this. Now, at a time where this cold, dark Aegean substance, the earth is traveling through it from 1450, right? 1448 to 1848, 1450 to 1850, 400 years, right? to prove that we was in Aja at the time. Let's look at what's happening on the earth. And what's happening on the earth at the time, from 1450 to 1850, is what? The Little Ice Age. Huh? If y'all didn't know that there was an ice age, if you didn't know that there was an ice age in between 1450 and 1850, hit me with a 5. Be real. Right? If you knew that, hit me with a 6. If you didn't, hit me with a 5. Did y'all know about the Little Ice Age? From 1450 to 1850, exactly the 400 years span of time that Cosmo tell you it's going to be talking about? It tell you it's in a cold time, dark region, and we look up on Earth and we see we in a little ice age? Is that a mistake? Huh? Crazy part is, even if you knew about the Little Ice Age, you didn't know why it happened. Look, the Little Ice Age climate interval that occurred from the early 14th century through the mid. Look, today, some scientists use it to distinguish the period 1500 to 1850. Right? Primarily 1450 to 1850. Right? At the same time. '58 was a down spike. Look, it's our job. It ain't changing because you ain't came out of it yet. Whole earth is going through growth and change and different things at this time, except for 1745, which according to different versions, the year was 1744. All of the dates associated with Emmanuel Swedenborg's birth and religious experience happened on cold Aegean periods. So remember when they said, when the Aja comes, the Druja come. Huh? This is why the obsession. This is why the dreams. This is why they couldn't do it all the time. Huh? OAHSPE, Book of Divinity. Right? When Aja come upon the earth, the Drujas come also. The day of darkness of earth are their delight. Huh? OAHSPE spells Christ with a K as Christ, like Kris Kringle, which is German for Christ kind or Christ child. From Old English Christ or Latin Christos, the Greek Christos, or the Anointed One, translated to Hebrew as Messiah. Right? During the medieval Crusades, Pope Innocent IV, from 1243 to 1254, decreed that the Europeans have a divine mandate to protect the spiritual well-being of all people, including non-believing infidels. Thus, Christians claim the right of conquest, the natural God-given right of Christians to conquer and then assume sovereignty over non-Christian peoples throughout the world. This belief was modified by Pope Alexander IV from 1492 to 1503 in response to a Columbus's discovery of America. The right to discovery, or the doctrine of discovery, claimed that any Christian European discovery of territory held by non-believers gave Christian titles to that land. Who gave them that right? The Pope said he could do it. Who authorized the Pope? Christ, the false God. See, you can always tell the emissaries of the false Christ versus those of the Creator. Those are the false Christ, always doing some evil, war down, dastardly type stuff. We see them setting up the doctrine of discovery and telling people, well, it's okay to go kill and take everything. And then, yeah, you know what? God already forgives you for killing these people. So kill, rise, Peter, slay and eat. You dig what I'm saying? Now look, God's book of Esdras, chapter 54, says, in the Creator's name, given unto thee, Luamon, thou hadst a warrior angel named Thoth, alias Gabriel. Huh? Ain't the voice of Christ called Gabriel? Ain't that who supposedly talked to Jesus and talked to a bunch of niggas? Yeah, y'all didn't know him. Him real name, him mama named him was Thoth. And no, not the Thoth from Egypt. Those are two different gods. This is Thoth Gabriel. Oh, Gabriel, that same Gabriel. Yes, that Gabriel that goes on later in time to inspire Muhammad and takes on the appellation Allah, which, by the way, means all highest knowledge or the God, the one. Same thing means that Christ means, same thing that Buddha means, same thing that Brahma means. Is there any coincidence? I think not. Thou hast a warrior angel, alias Gabriel, who labored for thee for thousands of years. Huh? Wait a minute. Did y'all hear that? That's a megaton light bomb. Allah worked for Christ. Uh-oh. In fact, Gabriel or Allah was Christ's number one hitman. Gabriel, or Allah, Luamon, or Christ, you had a warrior angel named Allah, aka Gabriel, or Jabril, however you want to say it, who labored for thee for more than 1,000 years in order to make thee under thy false name. What's your false name, Luamon? Christ, worshipful on earth. They also called him the Lord. They also took the name God. Holy Ghost. Gabriel made that name worshipful on earth. He fought your battles. And what you do? And thou didst inspire mortals in Western Europe to make crusades against Gabriel in order to possess Jerusalem and Tethys, whereby millions of mortals were slain. These are the Inquisitions, and vast regions of country laid desolate. Look, here go your first crusades right here. This is what he talking about in OAHSPE right here. See, this the dope part of OAHSPE, allow you to put it on a timeline. Look, Pope Urban II, 1088 to 1099, was responsible for assisting Emperor Alexis of Constantinople in launching the First Crusade. He made one of the most influential speeches in the Middle Ages, calling upon Christian princes in Europe to go on a crusade to rescue the Holy Land from the Turks. Huh? Turks were Islamic, wasn't they? The Turks praised Allah, right? They praised Gabriel, really, under the title Allah. But didn't OAHSPE tell you that Christ set it on Allah? Where you about to set it off in this mother? Woody. You about to set it off. right? Ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way he knew all this. Huh? And they trying to keep it from the Islamics. Christ out of nowhere just attacked the Turks. Why? What did Christ do? He was supposed to, he promised this place, Jerusalem and Tethys. He promised that to Thoth Gabriel or Allah. But when it was time to pay up, he hold him and didn't pay him. So they've been at war since. Allah goes and raises up his own prophet in Muhammad. Or the Mahdi. Yeah, you did what I'm talking about. So, because I don't think they had the proper vowel structure written in Arabic at that time. Right? It wouldn't have had a vowel in there. Muhammad would have looked like maybe would have looked like Mahmud, like MHMD. Wasn't no Muhammad nowhere in the 6th century. I think he's a backdated story, but you know, it is what it is. Called on the Christian princes to go on a crusade to rescue the land from the Turks, the Islamics. Wow. The speech given at the Council of Clermont in France on November 27, 1095, he combined the ideas of making a pilgrimage to the Holy Land with that of waging a holy war against infidels. This is from Dr. E.L. Skip Knox, gives a summary of the Pope's speech. Right? Hold on. Let them go, he says, let them go instead against the infidel and fight a righteous war. God himself will lead them. Who is telling them this? The Pope. The biggest dupe of the false god, Luamong himself. Why? Because Luamong did some whole shit and he trying to cover it up. Listen, if he'd have just paid his homeboy, wouldn't even be no Islam. Because he's so selfish. So evil, he turned his back on his own homeboy. Let that be a lesson. Huh? Get paid for your services. Cash on delivery. God himself will lead them, for they will be doing his work. There will be absolution. Listen, absolution. I mean, it's forgiving and remission of sins for all who die in the service of who? Y'all don't know. Y'all just know this guy. You better learn who Luamong is. Dios Volt, God will it, became the battle cry for the Crusaders. The First Crusade was the most successful from a military point of view. Accounts of this action are shocking. For example, historian Raymond of Agiles described the capture of Jerusalem by the Crusaders in 1099. Some of our men cut off the heads of their enemies. Others shot them with arrows so that they fell from the towers. Others tortured them longer by casting them into flames. Piles of heads, hands, and feet were to be seen in the streets of the city. It was necessary to pick one's way over the bodies of men and horses, but these were small matters compared to what happened at the Temple of Solomon, a place where religious services where religious services were, I think that's supposed to be ordinarily chanted. What happened there? If I tell the truth, it will exceed your powers of belief. So let it suffice to say this much at least, that in the temple in portico of Solomon, men rode in blood up to their knees in bridle reins. Damn. That's 6 feet of blood. Huh? That was just a little quick little something. Dropping the science on Columbus, the Catholics, the Conquistadors, the Protestants, Crusaders, with that OAHSPE point of view. You dig what I'm talking about? Shout out for everybody coming through, man. If you got a little something up out of it, you dig what I'm saying? Go on, hit your cousin with a 6 in the chat. Go on, hit your cousin with a 6 in the chat. If you got a little something up out of it. Finding out that your boy Columbus ain't discovered nothing. He ain't do a damn thing. You dig what I'm talking about? Y'all come on, jump on. Gonna holler at your cousin. You dig what I'm saying? He ain't did nothing. And the background, how about the slaughter of the Mayans, the Incans, and the Aztecs? We never got that history nowhere else, right? Except being told out of the mouth of the conqueror, right? Many of their books and all that stuff was burned. We did want to talk about. Anybody want to come on in, man? Link in the chat, man. Y'all go ahead, hit the link. We did want to talk about. And you see the dope part that this said that the Aztecs, the Incas, and the Mayans were copper-colored people, negroidal with long, black, coarse hair. There ain't no Africans. We talking about Americans. These is the Negroes. The misnomer African Americans and blacks. Hate that term. It sounds so bad when you say it. Black. Ain't nothing bad black about me. You dig what I'm talking about? Not from my skin to my attitude. You dig what I'm talking about? I'm all alike. You dig what I'm saying? So, to know that those people are indigenous, and then OAHSPE, your creator, goes on to tell you who you are. The Anguigan, huh? The iron-leaning modern man. The modern man who leans to the mound builder stock. Let me put it that way. For those who not really understanding what I'm saying, if you're not abreast in OAHSPE. The modern man whose genetics lean back to the mound builder stock, but also back to the great Ahuan, where they get the Atuan from. The great Ahuan, the megalithic builders of the Americas. You did what I'm talking about. Them two different people, y'all. But to make a Indian, you need both the mound builder and the Ahuan. Right? You're Indian. You're large Indian. You see what I'm saying? Can't get around it. You can't get around it. Right? What do you say now? The book say that the niggas is the Indians. Hold on. Let me pull up this because people might be thinking that, Cosmon, you be capping, cuz you be saying the book. Now I show it every time, but is it saying the Negroes and what is an Anguigan? And those are good questions. Those are good questions. You dig what I'm talking about? Anguigan, Angui means first of men, upright talking animal, a man, right? Means first of men. And even today, oh, hold on, I don't want this one. Even today, the descendants of the Iroquois, you dig what I'm talking about? The real Haudenosaunee still call themselves Angui to this day. It means Indian. It means Aboriginal. So to know that the Aboriginal of America still today calls themselves Angui and is the word Negro. Angui is the modern word Negro. It's the same thing. You know, we sauced it, changed it to nigga. You dig what I'm talking about? That's just how we talk. You dig what I'm talking about? Hold on. Let me pull this up for y'all real quick. Because we just gonna talk about nothing but the Indians in North America. Just North America, not Mexico neither. Right? We just talking about North America. Right? Remember, I told you the word Angui means the first of men. Right? That means you're Aboriginal. Right? It means a good-shaped man. Right? Let's go show you what they're talking about, these Indians. Let me share my screen real quick with y'all. Let's get into some of this real quick. This is from the Lord's Third's book. You dig what I'm talking about? The Lord's Third. 15 or chapter 2 and 1. Now look, we can go up to 1 and 29 first. Now remember, we ain't talking about nobody but the American Indian. Look how OAHSPE describes them. Watch this. Now, when these heirs grew to be men and women, behold, they talking about the Indian, had the gift of prophecy. Huh? Y'all told Uncle Joe he was crazy when he was hearing voices. Y'all put him in the crazy home. Huh? How many of our grandmamas done told us about that they aunties and they grandmamas? Or your mama done told you that they're her mama, or your grandmama used to talk to the spirits, or was a shaman. Huh? These Indians in America had the gift of prophecy and seeing visions and hearing the voice of the angels of heaven, right? And they were called what? Angui Gan. Right? Gan means modern man. Angui means the very first of, or goodly shaped, or upright speaking. The first of. Right? Signifying good shaped men. Why? Because our very forefathers were very large men with long arms, longer than their legs. Even though they're still giant, 10, 15, 20 tall, their arms were longer than their legs. 15, 12 feet tall, whatever. And these are some of them, the gigantopithecus that you see. They try to make them out to be monkeys and all this shit. They just real big men. Right? They try to make them out to be monkeys, but notice when you go look at the Gigantopithecus that their legs are shorter than their arms, but they're standing up. They want to say it's a monkey and all that, but you know, it is what it is. You dig what I'm talking about? But look, let's get back to how the Creator described these Indians, these Anguis. I'm telling you, this word is the modern word Negro. Look, first of all, Creator said you gonna know the Angui today. Everybody's gonna know the Angui. You're gonna readily be able to tell these people, right? These modern Indians, you're gonna be readily able to tell them. So I would just ask anybody. You did what I'm talking about, to go in your phone into your Rolodex and pull up the first Angui you know. You don't know no goddamn Anguis. Do you know any Negroes? Right? See, if you move the word around, you put the N, you move that G and the W to the N, it says Neegwo, Negro. Go on your phone and tap in Negro. Right? You tap the first Negro. You know, you don't know nothing. But remember, we came in contact with some of the very first people who were speaking Spanish and Portuguese, right? And in their tongue, which is still Latin, well, the script is Latin based, not the tongue. They were, they don't have a wo sound. They don't have a wo. You dig what I'm talking about in there? But they do have a double rolling R, a ro. So when the Portuguese and Angui becomes Negro, becomes Negro. But let's describe them. Let's go and see. Let's see what it say. It say, now do not permit the Angui, the American Indian, to dwell with the irons, lest my seed and my chosen become lost. Right? So we didn't mix back with the chosen people a lot neither. But look, the Anguis, right? Now remember, call that first Negro. So the Indians of America came suddenly into the world. Why? Because you are descent from the original, aboriginal. The originals are what? Ions and Ahuans. Right? This is why you got that pretty brown skin. The Anguis came suddenly into the world. By the thousands and thousands they came in the north, south, east, and west. We only talking about North America though. Just North America. And look, let's describe them. And they had long black hair. Oh, wait a minute, Cosmon. Wait a minute. That's a lot of people. The Mexicans got long black hair. The Siberian people got long black hair. Shoot, white Europeans got long black hair. Right? They got long hair. It's black, but this separated all. Coarse. So the American Indian has long, black, coarse hair. Let's pull that up real quick. Let's show what a depiction of long, black, coarse hair looks like, right? Show you I ain't making up. Long, black, coarse hair. Right? Let's see who they show as a depiction of long, black, coarse hair. Huh? Long, black, coarse. Now, see, the dope part about this is, right, with this long, black, coarse hair, this knocks out the possibility of a Native American being the Aboriginal to America. This knocks out the possibility that anybody Latino or Hispanic or European could be the Aboriginal of America, the Angui. the first of men. Huh? There's only one people in America, only one, that have long, black, coarse, hold on, long, black, coarse, nigga hair. I didn't make this up. There's only one people in America who has hair like this. And the representation of them is right in front of you. They told you was black. They told you was African. No, you're American. Huh? Long, black, coarse. Look at I ain't gotta move. This is the very first thing brought up. Long, black, coarse hair. There's only one people in America that have this hair. They're commonly called Negroes or blacks or African Americans. But we are the Aboriginals, the Anguilles. The Indians of America. But not only that, not only do they got long, black, coarse hair, but their skin was brown. Uh-oh. So you gotta have brown skin with long, black, coarse hair, nigga hair. But not only do you got the brown skin, you got the red, copper-colored skin tone. Now, let's look. Let's just go back. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Webster's 1828 dictionary. Watch this. Hold on. I want to show y'all something real quick. Hold on, this thing is. Now look what OAHSPE is saying. Hold on, let's see what OAHSPE is saying. OAHSPE is saying that they had long, black, coarse hair. And not only that, they had not just copper color skin, copper color brown skin. Right? This only links to one people in the world or in America, in North America, who got this. But watch what the definition of American is in the first place. Remember that copper color. Watch this. Watch this. American, right? A noun, right? A native of America. Anybody born in America, right? Originally, though, applied to the Aboriginals or the what? The what? The what? The copper-colored races found here by Europeans, but now applied to descendants of Europeans and Siberians and Asians and Africans and all that stuff born in America. But it originally applied to who? Only the copper-colored races. Right? Y'all think that's a mistake? No, we just talking about niggas in America being the real Indians. And look, This is why this is important. And their arms were short like the irons, like the mound builders. Why is that important? Because your other ancestor, the large nigga, you dig what I'm talking about, or the nigga who was in one the one was a peaceful dude, one was a warrior group. The warrior group was very, very large men. But the telltale about these men is no matter how large they were, their arms were always longer than their legs. Even if their legs were long, their arms were longer. So this is why and how you prove our symmetry, our physicalness, and our spiritualness produces beauty. Our spiritual symmetry produces physical symmetry. This is why we're the most beautiful people on the planet. It's no mistake. And then hold on, we just describing niggas. So not only will you be beautiful to look upon, but because of the physical nature of your forefathers and the spiritual nature of your foremothers, you would have been super athletic. Sound like anybody you know in America? All right, let's just keep moving in. All right. We're looking for these anguis, these nequos. Huh? Very proud was the niggas. Very proud was these American Indians. Huh? That's what an angui is. Ain't that what a Negro is? All right. Look, they would not mix back with the Ahuans, their large forefathers. The megalithic builder. This the nigga who built Teotihuacan. Sexe Ahuaman. Yeah, big niggas in America. Better look it up. And they dared not mix back with the second people, the mound builders. And the Anguigan became a new race in the world, having all the symmetry, the beauty, the rhythm, the spiritualness of the iron, the intelligence, and all the savageness of the Ahuan. Right? And have you ever been noticing, you dig what I'm talking about? The babies ain't with that God shit over here. You can't pay a little baby to go to church. I can't pay one of y'all to go to church. Right? Why? What if it was encoded from your DNA from the get-go and it been taught to you so long to never praise a God, a Lord, a Savior? This is why y'all shaking the religious ideologies and dogmas right now. Why? Right? Because niggas in America being feeders of flesh and fish. You sure love a barbecue, don't you? Huh? Because Indians love to hunt, eat deer, chicken, turkey. Y'all fell under the dominion of the angels of the lower heaven, the inorganic heavens. Right? But what did that make you do? You rejected the Lord God. You never praised the God. You never none of that shit. You always knew Geechee made Manito. Huh? You always knew the great Wakan was not Wakan Tanka. Huh? You always knew the great spirit and the God were not the same thing. Why? Because from inception, you've been rejecting the Lord and God. Same thing you doing today. Watch this. I want to look up something else. Let's look up copper colored brown skin. Huh. Do we got to even keep doing this? Copper colored brown skin. Do they look like American Negroes to you? That's because they Indians. Copper colored brown skin. Oh, wait. Copper colored brown skin. Copper colored brown skin. Copper colored brown skin. Look at that. Look at all the variations of copper. Look. They even tried to throw Shorty in there because her hair red. Trick no good. But we got babies that light too. Look. Copper. We're not talking about the hair. Talking about the skin. Look. Copper. Brown. So that excludes little young deer running horse, the Native American, and that excludes baby girl too. The indigenous of America, I'm not saying that they didn't make this color. Niggas make this color too. Look, she damn near close to it. But she copper color brown. Right? And so is the Aboriginal American. Like it, love it, but you gonna have to deal with it. Right? You're gonna have to deal with it. Copper color. Look at that. Copper color. Brown. Beautiful. Huh? Didn't I tell y'all? Y'all the most beautiful people on the planet. Why? Because of your spiritual symmetry makes your physical symmetry match. For that same reason, you are the most athletic. For that same reason, you are proven the spiritual backbone of America. Copper color brown. Look at them eyes on her. Copper colored brown. This is what they say the indigenous of America look like. Y'all see that? See this row right here? Copper colored brown. All of them are different shades of mwah. You dig what I'm talking about? Sun kiss. You dig what I'm talking about? That's Americano. Huh? Guatamian. You dig what I'm saying? Real Indian. This is what they look like, y'all. And we changing the whole paradigm of the world. It is what it is. Right? Not only that pretty brown skin, but they got long black nigga hair. Huh? Look, I ain't seen nothing but sisters. Long black course. Long black course. Ain't nothing coarse about this. They try to slide them in there, be slick. Copper colored brown. Long black course. Beautiful. Symmetrical and athletic. Sound like anybody you know? And a very proud nigga? Uh-oh. Sound like anybody you know? This is not coarse. Let me show you what coarse, what black and coarse does not look like. Let's go to this picture real quick. Let's share this. Right here. Share this tab. See this very first picture? This is what long and black and coarse does not look like. Long black coarse, no. Long black coarse, no. Long black coarse, no. Here. All right. So we showed you what long black coarse looks like. All right. What it don't look like. Let me show you what it do look like. Huh? It do look like this. It do look like this. It do look like this. It do look like that. Huh? That's how OAHSPE is describing the American Indian. Show me another spiritual book in the world that tells you that the American Indian is the Negro of America. I dare you. I want to see it. Go get it. Go get it. Right? And then to understand that in the end of the day, Jaja put you here on purpose. And that there is no more like you, nowhere in the world. Nowhere. Them boys in England and Africa, not like you. They not like us. Them boys from the Midwest, even the ancient niggas from the East who used to be from Persia. You know what I mean? The middle section between the great three continents of Africa, India, and Asia. That middle land they call Iran, Pakistan, Afghanistan, all the stands. That's where the niggas of the East like us were from. All the great prophets. All of them. And as a matter of fact, if you got ITE on the end of your name, you're admitting that you're Persian and Negroid, or what they like to call through the biblical narrative, Shemitic. Saying there's a lot out there that they ain't told us about. You dig what I'm talking about? But OAHSPE peeling back that layer. You dig what I'm talking about? It's what you can't do. You can say the white, oh, he a white man, oh, well, why is he telling you that the nigga of America is the indigenous of America? Huh? This only describes one people. Long black coarse hair with brown copper color skin already in America. Huh? Symmetrical, very proud and athletic. Praisers of the Great Spirit. Ain't nobody more holy than us. Nobody, or I ain't gonna say holy, I'm gonna say spiritual. Huh? You put it together. I rock hoes, you rock fellas. You dig what I'm saying? But look, ain't nobody trying to jump on, so we just gonna keep it on short and sweet, man. This is Jehovah Chronicles number 212, Columbus, Catholic, Conquistadors, Protestants, and Crusaders. You dig what I'm saying? With that being said, vibe high. Vibe high, y'all. You dig what I'm saying? Let's see if we can let's see if we can play a couple joints as we get up out of here. You dig what I'm saying?
fight as a single, impenetrable unit. That is the source of our strength.
Yeah.
Jason Nero put the record out.
Create a gang coming, create a gang coming. Turning up the light and watch some boys start running. Let me tell you something, we ain't out here doing nothing. I can tell you scared, boy, niggas stop fronting. It was all in the plan, comprehension, understand. Breaking boys off like created did the band. Cooler than the band, who you fooling, man? We be tearing shit up like we're taping and some bands. Conscious community, yeah, we in demand. They hunger for the truth, debate or the booth. Sourcing up with the proof, AU on the tooth. Catch me in the candy painted octagon coupe. Step in my boots while I'm knocking mines loose. You be the cobra, I be the mongoose. Plant base in my suit, meditate on my fruit. Red Star training, who let the gods loose?
Create a gang is undefeated. Create a gang is undefeated. Know that. Know that. They not like us. Separate the real from the fake is a must. We stand on creator and no God we trust. Team Kemet got crushed into powder and dust. Woo! Kemet looking bad now. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many men down? Look at us all running, ducking, trying to skip town. Now power one it in. You Hebrew, what you Kemet now? Siding with the people that enslaved your own people now? Chop you up into pieces and throw you in the river now. Bet you right beside you get ate by Kemetic crocodile. Look, we got them running, covering square miles. Scared to death, what's left? Only to take the crown. Get smashed down on your own stomping ground. We took over like the Hicks on your turf doing a disco. 2-stepping, no half-stepping with the info. You wouldn't even know the book of the dead, bro, if it wasn't for the translation done by my sparrow. Your time's narrow, semi-missiles blow out your arch arrows. Arches down, so goes the pharaoh. I saw him reading the glyphs like he an expert. But where he learned that from? This about to hurt. First translation came from Samuel Birch. European Egyptology gave you it first. You couldn't translate a bird to a word without looking up them European definition verbs. Y'all niggas acting like y'all blackity black. Frontin' to the people, man, y'all niggas actually whack. Your pathetic comedic creation meant there's a trap. The blind leading the blind with no actual facts. Shabario Saze, you softer than Sade. Come to find out he followed Yahweh. That was your execution. You par Rosicrucian. Western thought you using. You are quite confusing. Don't know what you doing. How my eye got you moving. Right now you are losing. At your wake I'm viewing. R.I.P. communion. Mummy wrapped in ruin. OAHSPE is ruling. Science has been proven. All motion moving. You live in an illusion. Who you think you fooling? Think you need some schooling. It's like Reggie out here living in a ghost town. Walking around like I see dead people around. I don't believe in spirits, but I believe them now. Stuttering Stanley, you can have a seat now.
Stuttering Stanley! Stuttering Stanley! Stuttering Stanley! Stuttering Stanley! Shut up, you freak!
Freaky ass Kemet, they got 69 gods. Freaky ass Kemet, they got 69 gods. Freaky ass Kemet, they got 69 gods. 69 gods, 69 gods. Freaky ass Kemet, they got 69 gods. Freaky ass Kemet, they got 69 gods. Freaky ass Kemet, they got 69 gods. 69 gods, 69 gods. Create a gang is undefeated. Create a gang is undefeated. And it's gonna remain that way. And it's gonna remain that way.
Hey y'all, on my next live, I'm gonna be showing my boy Malachi Maccabee. The boy then wrote a book about how to overcome depression and tough situations in your life. You dig what I'm saying? I gotta put it and upload that so we can share that on the next live. You dig what I'm saying? Be coming back a little more regular now that my hours then settle down a little bit, And you dig what I'm saying? We just gonna keep cooking, y'all. Cosmo, right back at it, man. Hey, your host with the most. You dig what I'm talking about? Holding that fire like a roach clip. Dig what I'm saying? But y'all already know what I want y'all to do. You already know what I want you to do. Huh? Let me see what let me see. Let me ask the crowd. What y'all think I want y'all to do? Huh? What you think I want you to do? How about breathe in? Breathe in. Let that light in. Because I'm Cosmonian, huh? Anakwa Kaiki, the cloud kicker, huh? Huh? I just need you to breathe in. Let that light in. Because I'm Cosmon, and I'm out, family. Peace.
And oh yeah, put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feel it when you feel it up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you breathing rarefied air, oh yeah. Put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you feel it up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you breathing rarefied air, oh, just that child felt, that child man, that papa bull, that towel man, since sunset in the arc of Wayne. My brain moving like towel saying, so as above, it's so below, that up and that down thing. This flow is atmospheric. I call that a ground game. See, water is knowledge, so if I'm teaching, you're learning. So how your God make a sun without vortexing and current? See, the pattern is panic. I'm reaching out for my people. OAHSPE flow through your speakers. You feel the force of the equal. And when the force gets the equal, I'm taking off like an eagle. Police popped the pastor yesterday for pushing put equal. My DNA is Moshe. Mix that thing with higher water. My spirit rate is OTN. It's just a higher order. Got more light than Kavita. Rap a lot just like Tila. Went from sinner to saint. Shout out my big homie Sela. Got more torque than a sports car. Got more work than a door star. And the $4 million I make, I'm giving the doctor my oh yeah. Put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you feeling up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you breathing rarefied air, oh yeah. Put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you feel it up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you breathing rarefied air, oh yeah. Super 7 in my rites and ceremonies. I'm married to Jehovah, holy matrimony. Confucius say, in the words of Caillou, before you hit the tomb, be a bridegroom. Only got one question for Miss Susan B. On how to last Ahu when it's now a ennui. Blame my inspiration, I'm just thinking thoughts. But in the way of God's, we gon' keep it short. Why Jesus wanna kill me, Matthew 10:34. Just a couple questions that I'm needing to know. OAHSPE flow is so potent, set the vortex in motion. Super 7, I'm floating across the Aegean Ocean. Oh, you a Muslim now, so I guess you make it Salat. Well, I'm a Israelite, I'ma make you met the Shabbat. Got Moses on the bumper, super slap off in my spaceship photosphere. So I stay lit, peace and light to the faith is so yeah. Put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you feeling up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you breathing rarefied air, oh yeah. Put that Super 7 in the air. Tell me how you feeling when you feel it up there. When you in the sky breathing rarefied air. When you breathing rarefied air, oh yeah.
You know, growing up, everybody always said I had an old soul. I'm a tour